Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this Artciety Foldable Bluetooth keyboard with touchpad. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description on Amazon, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So here it says scissor key, wireless, 3 channels, so you compare this to 3 different devices, has triple fold, it's compatible with Windows, Android, iOS, Mac OS. This should also be compatible with other devices that are compatible with Bluetooth keyboards like video game systems, media stick, Chromebook, things like that. And here we have some specs on the back. You can read through those. That has the dimensions for when it's open and when it's folded. So let's get this open. So we have a case here. Here we have the keyboard, user manual, comes with a phone dock, and then it has a charge cable. Let's take a quick look at the manual. So here we have the specs again. I'll go over a couple of them. The lithium battery capacity is 210 milliamp hours. Charge time is 2 to 3 hours. Uninterrupted work time is 84 hours. Standby time is 60 days. Sleep time is 30 minutes. And you awake it by pressing any key. Here's an overview of the keyboard. It talks about function keys and the mouse buttons. And here's a chart of the function keys. Now the functionality of these buttons is pretty much the same across all platforms. This talks about the special keys. So to switch Bluetooth channels, you'll press function and then you'll press Q, W, or E depending on which channel you want, 1, 2, or 3 respectively. You press function tab to lock the function key. Function caps lock will let you know the battery remaining. Function control to work as a virtual keyboard on iOS. Function alt turns the touchpad on or off. Then you can use function up, down, left or right to go page up, page down, home or end. This is keyboard language switching, talks about setting it up. We have FCC statement. This talks about pairing it. So to pair it with channel 1, you'd press function Q, but if it's already paired and you want to repair, then you long press function Q. Then you go to your device, you'll look for Bluetooth 5.1 keyboard, and then you can do the same thing for the second and third devices. And then here it talks about the touchpad, more on the touchpad. So the gestures could be different depending on your system. This talks about the status LEDs and the system requirements. This talks about the stand, how to charge it, and we have some troubleshooting. So you can pause and read through those. So let's get this open. So this has these hinges here on the bottom. So that makes it flat. So one thing to point out is that you do need a flat surface to set this on, typically. Of course, it depends on what you're doing with it, but most people are going to want a flat surface. Now, you could potentially use this during a presentation where you hold it and you just press the space bar or whatever to go to the next slide. There's protective film over the touchpad. I'll pull that off. So let's check out charging this. So there's a USB-C port at the top of the keyboard. I'll plug into it. Then I'll plug that into a USB charger. So you could use a phone charger, computer, wall outlet that has USB, car, RV, or battery pack. So it's currently charging at 0.16 amps. So let's get this paired. I'll start with it closed. I'm going to turn my light off so we can see this a little easier. So I'll open this up. And we can see the lights on here. So to go into pairing mode, I'll hold down function Q. And now this first light is flashing and it says keyboard here. I'll tap it. Now it says Bluetooth keyboard. Okay, so it says it's connected. Okay, so I've opened up the word processor app. Now I can type here. You can also use hotkeys, so I can type Command A on a Mac to select. And let's see if I can make this bigger. I'll type Command plus. And now I can make that bigger. We can also use cursor keys to go back and forth. We can add words in here, like so. You can also type Command or Windows Tab to go between applications. So if I want to go back to setting, I can hit that, and we're back at settings. I can go back to my word processor. Now if I want to change the screen brightness, I can type function F2, and I can change the screen brightness. And then we can use the other things like volume, see function volume here. And you can go to home, search, things like that. So it works similar to a regular keyboard. Now we also have a mouse on here. So I can use it to select. So this makes a great travel keyboard. So if you have multiple devices like an iPad and a phone, you can use the same keyboard. So I'll move this aside and I'll get this stand out. And I have an iPhone here. I'll go into the Bluetooth settings on it and I'll hold down function W. And now the 2 is flashing, so I'll choose it. on this phone, and now it's paired with the phone. So now let's go to web browser, and I can type in a website like so, and I can go up and down. And if I want to go back to my iPad here, turn it on, I can just press Function Q, and I'm back over at the iPad now. So if you're traveling, you could pair this up with your laptop, your phone, and a tablet. So in your hotel room, you could use this with your laptop, but maybe you're on an airplane or a bus, you could use it with one of your other devices. Now, some people may only need like 2 Bluetooth devices, but you could use that third one to say connect up to a Fire TV. So if you're entering a password or something, you can pull the keyboard out, pop over to that device, and you could type a keyboard in instead of having to use the remote to do that. So that can come in really handy. Now, it does have these little stands that pop down here. So these rotate out on the edges. So that gives it more support on the edges when you're typing or using the trackpad. So when we're done, we can fold this in, we can fold the little feet in, and it fits in this little pouch, like so. Then we can take our phone stand, fold it up, and put that in the pouch also. So here's the folding keyboard compared to a regular keyboard. You can see the size difference. This is more compact. Of course, there's always a trade-off. It makes it easier to travel with. Some people might have trouble typing with a smaller keyboard. Now, I prefer a larger keyboard, but when I'm traveling, I'm fine with a smaller keyboard for that amount of time. And for a smaller keyboard, I found this very easy to type on. So that's the Artciety Foldable Bluetooth Keyboard with Touchpad. If you're looking for a Bluetooth keyboard on the go, I think this is a great option. It's very easy to type on, very comfortable. I like that this connects to all sorts of different devices, so you can use it with your phones, tablets, computers, multimedia devices. So this would work well if you're traveling for work, or maybe you have it in your multimedia area to connect up to your different devices like gaming systems and Fire TV sticks. It's very convenient for that. And then when you're done with it, it folds up real small for storage. It's also nice that this has the trackpad on there, so you don't have to have a separate mouse. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.